I knew from a young age that I wanted to be something great. While little girls were dreaming of becoming princesses and ballerinas, I sat in the corner playing with plastic stethoscopes and fake needles, treating some imaginary patient. More than a decade later, I'm attending a 4-year university, working my way through pre-medical coursework so that I can be that great thing that I had only dreamt of as a 5-year-old. How did I arrive here? Following my dreams and becoming the first in my family to even attend college? Well, to put it simply, I have AVID to thank for that. Allow me to start from the beginning. I grew up fairly disadvantaged. My parents never went to college and were very much paying the price for that financially. They were constantly trying to make ends meet and arguing over finances until one day they had each had enough. My brother and I both stayed with my mother after my parents had divorced, and if it was a struggle having 2 incomes, it became even more so living off of one alone. Despite all of their disagreements, my parents did always agree on one thing. Education was our top priority. I had heard that for my entire life, and so I set out to follow their teaching and be the greatest version of myself, the version I knew they saw in me. I breezed through elementary school, earning honor roll at every stop, and middle school had presented some challenges that, in the face of, I had thought were insurmountable, but I persevered and maintained good grades. Upon entering 9th grade, I was in the midst of what some would call culture shock. I had just moved from South Florida to Volusia County, attending a new school with unfamiliar faces, and was in a social whirlwind. Beyond that, I was also trying to learn the ropes of how the school system worked here. I noticed there was a lot of pushing of AVID strategies across campus. I would see wicker posters all over school, learned how to take Cornell notes, and had seen the AVID logo adorned on some teachers' polos. Yet, I still had no idea what AVID was. Towards the end of the year, while sitting in my algebra class, some woman peeked into the classroom, and the next thing I knew, my math teacher was calling my name. I got nervous and started trying to remember if I'd done anything wrong, hearing various oohs coming from the class. We moved to sit outside the classroom, and I come to learn that this stranger is none other than Mindy Good, the AVID coordinator and my soon-to-be mom. She tells me that my math teacher had recommended me to the program and that she was here to talk to me about it. As she listed all of the benefits and the specs of the program, I was enamored. I felt AVID was built for me, for my ambitions, and I could reach my full potential with the help of this program. And so, I wrote the personal statement and submitted the application within a few days. When I received my acceptance letter, I was overjoyed. It felt like I was finally following the path that I had dreamt of and was one step closer to achieving my dream of going to college. Over the course of my high school career, I would come to lean heavily upon the AVID program, almost like a crutch, both mentally and academically. By mentally, I mean that the AVID classroom was a safe space for all of us, because we were all so close. Mrs. Good managed to foster a real sense of family in each and every class, nearly to a fault. We would laugh, cry, bicker, fight, not physically of course, and completely annoy Mrs. Good. Despite our backgrounds, our cliques outside of class, beliefs, and any other divisive factor, we were stuck with each other and we were going to make the absolute best of it. We were there for each other no matter what the other needed. I believe that having that family environment really reinforced my ideals of family first. If I wanted to vent about a teacher or something was happening at home that was bothering me, I was able to come to these people, my family, and they would listen, offer advice, and just be there. Being a part of AVID offered a stability that I could fall back on when life at home just couldn't. AVID also supported me academically in so many ways. Being a low-income student poses challenges because of the fact that so many extracurriculars require you to pay money, buy equipment or shirts, and other miscellaneous expenses. My mom tried the best that she could, but there were many instances in which we had to prioritize our spending, but I never had to fear with AVID because Mrs. Good and the program itself makes sure that students like me, regardless of race and socioeconomic status, get to have the opportunities that may not otherwise be presented to us. I remember looking at college applications, SAT and ACT prices, and feeling an overwhelming fear. I would think to myself, how are we going to pay for this? Then, halfway through junior year, Mrs. Good sat us down and told us that each and every one of us would receive waivers for the SAT and ACT. and I felt such an immense relief wash over me. I was going to be okay. My dream was still alive and still within reach, and financial barriers weren't going to stop me. This was the push that I needed to continue my path to greatness, earning a 4.0 cumulative GPA. Senior year rolled around, and it was time to submit applications, and I had never been more excited. It was time to actually fulfill my dream, and I knew that, thanks to AVID and Mrs. Good, my academic resume was packed with extracurriculars, honors and awards, volunteer hours, and much more. I was ready to conquer the world, up until I saw how much each individual school charged to submit an application. I told Mrs. Good I wasn't sure how I was going to pay for this and started panicking. She heard me out, listened to my fears, and told me to call the schools, ask for fee waivers, and see what they can do for me. It was thanks to her that I was able to successfully complete all the applications I started, and it was thanks to AVID that I was accepted to each and every university that I applied to. Here I am, standing in front of you, 12 acceptances later, most of which were accompanied by presidential scholarships. Here I am, now in my junior year at the University of Central Florida, majoring in health sciences preclinical track, fulfilling yet another dream. Graduate college and get into medical school. Here I am, working as an AVID tutor, working under Mrs. Good, giving back to the program and the person who has helped me so much and has given me resources and skills that I will take with me everywhere for the rest of my life. I know for a fact that had it not been for the AVID program, I would not have achieved all that I have thus far. I owe so much to this program that has allowed an ambitious little girl to conquer her goals and realize her dreams and grow into the strong, well-versed, well-educated young woman you see before you. Thank you.